So here's another example of one that's grouping, that you can use grouping to solve it, or to, factor it. If you look again, see how this, it has that ratio that's the same, 2 to 1, 2 to 1. So that kind of tells you that you can kind of do it by grouping. Just like here, this one we did before had like a 1 to 3 ratio. So as long as that kind of thing is repeated in both halves, you can probably use grouping. So we want to pair these off. So I'm going to, pair off the two halves. The common factor here between these ones, this is an x squared, I kind of wrote over it, but it's an x squared. So x squared comes out, and you're left with 2x minus 1. Here, they have a 10 in common. So you can take out, it's a plus 10 or a positive 10, and you're going to be left with 2x minus 1. These two, again, have to match for the grouping to be done correctly. If they don't match, either it can't group, or you did something wrong here when you were dividing something out. So now we're left with these. The x squared plus 10 is one part, and the 2x minus 1 is the other. So for our solutions, we got one solution right here. It would be 1/2. X equals 1/2. And then for this one, if you can get it down to a binomial, like a x squared and some number, that's great, because that means you can just do the square root method to find your last two solutions. Because remember, we're looking for 3. We got 1 right here. We need 2 more. And they're going to come from this. So I get an x squared equals -10. I'm going to bring this over there, square root both sides, and you get your final two solutions, which are x equals plus or minus. You got to remember the plus or minus. And then for this negative, the only thing you can really do there is an I comes out for that, and 10 doesn't reduce. So these would be your last two solutions. I square root 10 and negative I square root 10. So you got 3 solutions, x equals these 3 things to make this equal 0, right? Those are the 3 solutions to it. So that's another one where grouping, this is a better one to use grouping on, because you wouldn't really be able to do this otherwise. You couldn't just find all 3 of these on the graph. This one, but not these 2. And, synthetic division with a fraction, you could have done that too, but this way is a bit easier, I think, if you can just kind of recognize that grouping pattern, all right?